What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to The Casual Nerd. Today, I have someone really awesome here with me, Kareem, or is his username. I absolutely love this username, by the way, Kareem Cheese. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you so much for, getting my name right. Not everybody knows that it's a pun right off rip. They're like Kareem Cheese. They didn't put it together. They don't know what to put there on their bagels. They probably eat it dry.
Well, most people pronounce it boggles, so that's an issue in and of itself, okay?
That works too.
He is an Apex player. He works with Luminosity. He does so much cool stuff, partnered with Logitech, working on so many cool things. Dude, tell us what you're up to right now, because you have been working so hard this past year, the following years, and you started popping off recently, and it's just really amazing to see all your hard work come to fruition.
Thank you. I'm just really happy to be in this position. I'm thankful to be in this position, and 5 years of hard work, when you're like, yeah, it finally paid off. But I'm working on a lot of things recently. I'm working with Apex. I can say this now. I'm working with Apex on their Final Fantasy collab to create some content going forward. I'm also working with Landfest for Battle of Charity next week in Vegas to raise money for the kids and play some Valorant on the stage. It's going to be fun.
Nice.
And then I think I'm just in a mental spot where I'm just curating a lot of NDA stuff that I can't really announce right now. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of projects going through the pipeline that I hope go through, but I'm always working. And I'm always thinking of new ideas to incorporate into my stream, into my content, and into the industry in general.
That's really cool. And you know what? It's really interesting because I was actually looking at Luminosity. I was looking at so much of what they do. For the people who don't know what Luminosity is and what they do, can you talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, so Luminosity is an esports org, so it goes from anywhere to our online PUBG team, our Apex team, anything that has to do with esports and comp. Luminosity is at the forefront. We're also owned by Enthusiasts, so that's really, really huge when it comes to working with jobs or working with companies such as like Netflix or anything promoting movie-wise as well, on top of just businesses. So it's basically a huge family of content creators, esports, professional gamers, marketing geniuses, and badass individuals.
Nice. And not to be confused, by the way, with a content creation house. Those are two very different things.
Very, very different. We're content creators that all live in our own house. We just curate content and ship it into the space, into Google.
Yeah, no, that's actually probably the most important part.
Yeah, shout out Google.
Not sponsored, by the way, kids. I do have to ask, what are you currently playing right now, and are you attacking that massive backlog that you were telling me from before?
Okay, I have plans on not attacking it at all. Maybe 2025, 2024 is a year of just head down in the dirt working. I'm just trying to figure out where I want to be in the next 2 years, but also not thinking about it at all because I just want to enjoy the moment I'm living in and the things I'm doing now. So I'm constantly battling myself. But I've been playing
Content
recently.
creators.
Yes, what is shall be. So I've been playing the finals. I've been playing Apex. I've been recently playing a lot of Valorant because I'm getting ready for that LAN. Diablo 4.
Yes.
Super Mario Wonder, 10 out of 10 game, by the way. And we'll throw in, let me see. Hold on. I'm giving you accuracy right here. I've also been playing Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, Eternites, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and I just finished up the DLC for Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay, so I need to know what your thoughts were before I get into my list of what I was going into. What do you think about the DLC? Decide to motion track again.
Motion. You got to keep it tracked. You got to keep it the main thing front and center. I'm sorry. What was that question again? I'm sorry.
The question was, what did you think of the DLC? Because I finished it recently and it heartbreaking.
The DLC was very interesting. I played through it 4 times to get different endings So not let me fix that. I've saved before I made final decisions and done it different
Oh,
each
okay.
time. So if anybody doesn't know, you should do that. Save before any final decision, like on multiple saves, so you can make multiple different scenarios. So I did every scenario, and it was heartbreaking. It was done very well. Music was great. Voice acting was wonderful. Gameplay was beautiful, and the story was beautifully written. And I think Cyberpunk probably has one of the best comebacks in gaming history.
Oh yeah, hands down. I mean, my gosh, from launch in 2020 to now, it's unbelievable.
Totally different game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, to see where the characters are. I mean, I always get heartbroken whenever I see certain characters mentioned that aren't around anymore. I'm like, oh god, no.
Yeah. I what did I do? I took a shot for Jack with Ash at the bar after the ending. She was like, "Who do you want to cheers to?" And I was like, "Johnny." No, I was like, this is for Jackie. Sorry, I took a shot for Jackie. I took a shot for Jackie. My boy gave me the motorcycle right at the beginning. Took a shot for Jackie.
Oh gosh, Jackie, rest
That
in
was so
peace.
sad.
Going to the big leagues.
These big leagues, man. We're going to the big leagues, tube.
It was one of those things of where, like, when I first played through Cyberpunk and that happened, I was like, oh god, my heart. They're just trying to ruin it every single time.
It's that's when you know a game's gonna be good. Gotta take out the best supporting character right off rip.
I hate it. But as far as what I'm playing is going, I am currently now. I know what you guys are going to do. You're going to tell me in the comments, Ariel, you should stop. You should take a break. No, stop it. It's a new year. We're grinding right now. Stop this.
We're grinding.
I took 10 days off for break. Okay, I think I'm good to go. I'm rejuvenated, and I posted a review of Diablo 4 when I got back. That game is incredible. The co-op system is so good.
It's a wonderful game, one of the better stories in MMO history, I think personally. And obviously they're getting better with their end game stuff. I'm doing the Abattoir of Azure right now.
Ooh.
So they released. Fun fact, I don't know. You finished the whole story, correct? Okay, awesome. So at the end of the whole story, with Lilith, obviously, like you go through, say your goodbyes, and the Avatar of Zora came in season 2. They have this one sigil, right, that you can upgrade at the end of the Abattoir of Zora runs that gives your attack power. I'm at 14k attack power as a sorcerer with Ball of Lightning build. I'm running through stuff like it's no tomorrow. It's great, and then you can get that seal up to, I believe it's 250, and I'm only at like 27. So I can get stronger and stronger. So I can only imagine how much it just goes from there.
I get like a lot of the builds that they have. Like I was a necro, and every time that I would go through and have my little skelly buddies pop up everywhere, it was just like this unadulterated joy that I felt.
Oh yeah, those mechanics are brutal. If you mess up one movement, or you get hit by a ghost like on a movement, or you don't follow her, you're dead.
It's just it's unbelievable. Like the tracking system on some of the waves that you have to like kind of go through. It's my gosh, but yeah,
gotta save those dodges. Gotta save those.
And people are just like, oh yeah, no, Dark Souls, this and that. It's like Diablo 4 is in Dark Souls. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you got to make sure you have movement on the amulet, movement on the boots, movement on the amulet. You're vibing. You're running through everything.
Exactly. And you know, it's interesting because a lot of people are telling me how difficult of a time they have with Souls games and everything. I always say this to people. If you are able-bodied and able to move your hands, do everything that an able-bodied person can do, I have full confidence in you that you can play through Dark Souls and finish it. It's more of a skill thing and patience than anything.
I tell everyone the exact same thing because it's repetition, right? You can lose multiple times, but then you start picking up cues, like in fights, like you start picking up patterns. And all games are just patterns. If you can pick up the pattern, you're fine.
But I have to ask, when you're going into a game, whether it be for a sponsorship or something that you're just choosing to do on your own, how do you, since you're a partnered streamer and since you have a massive community now behind you, how do you choose the game that you're going to be diving into? Like when you know everything, like, okay, I have to pick this wisely, or it's something that you more pick on a whim?
So To be honest, I've made a huge amount of my following off shooters in general. And I started to do variety this year. And I kind of was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna take the hit on my numbers and I just want to enjoy video games. I really just want to enjoy video games and I want to watch people see me in like actual bliss, like happiness. I don't want somebody see me yelling about desync or like something in a shooter for like the entirety of my life. Um, so enjoying variety and not caring what's going to happen has propelled me and helped me work with companies I never thought I would. So it was definitely a wonderful switch, and I encourage everybody to do it. But if you have your main game, obviously do that. Um, but don't be afraid to touch on that variety and play something different whenever you feel like it. Because if you're not happy, we'll see. You know, everybody will see. I just want you to be happy playing what you want and doing what you want while you're creating content.
Yeah, I think that's the most important advice to give. And I've talked to a lot of streamers who give similar advice. But one thing that I always ask them, and I'm going to ask you the same question for anyone who wants to get into streaming, get into content creation. What is the biggest piece of advice you're going to give now that's 2024? We see AI coming up. We see all these different pieces of technology being integrated. What would you tell people now?
I would tell people, a lot of people care too much about their start setup or what they're doing. Use your iPhones. Use whatever you need. Start creating your content. Do what you need to do. It will fund your dream later on if something hits. If you find your niche and you flow in it, it'll fund your dreams later. Do not stop just because you don't have the equipment. You can make it work. We've makeshift stuff. I used to stream on an Xbox. That's how I started my career. Xbox. I throw a Logitech camera in the back, and I started streaming on a platform called Mixer before it went under. And
My
then,
God.
yep. And then I came over to Twitch in 2020, and then everything has just been upward, onward, and upward from there. I'm just happy. I'm just
It's
super, super
amazing.
happy. I'm happy I get to do this.
That's amazing. You see, and the pure unadulterated joy that I'm talking about. Whenever I discuss games, whenever I discuss content creation, it's this kind of happiness of where we found something that we absolutely love, and it's just like nothing can ever dampen our joy to an extent, right? No matter how tough things may get with it, no matter what trolls or what people might call us, a shill or a wannabe or anything like that, there's always going to be that point of where we sit down, we film or we stream, and we just get to make people laugh with what we do.
That's the best part. That's the best part. I get to make somebody's day, and then I get to be like, I gotta wake up at 7 a.m. to play video games. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's so interesting too because it's like I've seen a lot of the clips from your stream and your community, by the way, wild.
Yeah, they're wild. They're
Wild.
wild.
Especially with the one with someone clipped you just pouring a glass of wine. I'm like,
Yes, that was okay. So that was from I ran a show for a little bit. It was called Wine with Cheese. Pun intended. It was a great name. I should coin that name, by the way. But
LLC.
I literally it was a stream where I would just take somebody, put them on, and just drink wine and talk about random shit, and it was
Oh, I love
awesome.
that.
It
I
was
love that.
awesome. It was awesome. But that's where that was from. That's literally me just pouring the wine with my glasses, looking at the camera. Just I was so lit, by the way. That was a really, really good time.
It's so much fun because it's like your audience, by the way, like, and I say audience in general, will take the most random moments and clip them. And then it either gets memed back to hell or it's something of where you can just bond with the community, right? So it's like, I remember this one time of where I was playing Dark Souls 1. I think it was back in like 2019 or 2020. And that was the first Souls game I ever played was Dark Souls 1 remastered. And it got up to the gargoyle, like the bell gargoyle
Hmm.
section. And I was falling off the building so much because gravity is our biggest enemy in Souls
Oh yeah.
games.
Oh yeah.
And
Gravity is not
I,
our friend.
yeah, and I remember one of my subscribers clipped me falling off the building and they put music in the background to be continued. I'm like, why?
Oh
Why?
man. That's
I love
I think that's the best though when you're creating content and your community clips something and edits that shit for you. That's the best because I'm like I have my editor right and they're
Mhm.
great, but I want to see
Yeah.
your funny memes. I want to see like what
Yes.
you can do on the side. So I have a similar video where I was playing Apex. I fell off the map, and then next thing you know, I'm falling. They cut to the Kirby falling, like the and like it literally just going down into the depths. And it was just a hilarious moment, and it just stays forever in Discord, and people just clown me all the time. It's like whenever I get close to a ledge, it's like a map joke going forward.
Oh my god, it's so funny too because it's like there will be sound effects that I'll find to use in certain videos that are just it's perfect. Like that one Katy Perry one, you know, you think you're fine, but you're actually not. And I use and that one is just perfect because it was like a moment in a video of where Sam from Death Stranding is just falling, and
God.
I put that audio over that, and it was like chef's kiss. You know?
Don't you love when you put something over something? Like you'll put an audio over any type of content or something, and it just works.
It's just works. Smooth. It's just smooth, and I love it.
It was meant
so
to be.
Much. Yeah, it was meant to be. No, actually, that reminds me of everybody. Or like the sprinkle of salt. Like,
literally.
Bam. So what's funny is that I have the job that everyone absolutely hates to do, and it's every video editor will tell you, I love doing this, it's so much fun, and then every one of my clients is like, I don't know how you do this. So it's like masochism.
Literally, like the worst thing you get back is like, oh, we need a revision. Oh, we need a revision. Oh, we need a revision. I'm like, man, you could have just sent me the list. I would have done them all. Oh,
and also, by the way, in case you guys are curious, I might start doing this as a consistent thing now, but dark roast coffee with caramel, try it. It's amazing. Okay.
I've never tried dark roast with caramel. Now I got to try it. I've never tried it.
It's so good. I have a gluten reaction and a lactose thing. So my stomach is a diva by default. So I use oat milk a lot of the time, and it's changed my life. Nice. It's changed my life. I become one of those girlies.
Shout out to oat milk and almond milk.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, by the way. No ad, but like, thank you guys for letting like my lactose homies live and be good and enjoy milk.
Just imagine you have like a little mini fridge in the background. To your body.
To my body.
No, chew body.
Oh wait. We're moving forward. We're moving forward. We're moving forward. We're moving forward.
Hashtag to my body.
I thought that was like a letter to my body. Like, you know, I'm gonna take care of you. Like, you know, I'm gonna put nothing but good stuff inside of you, and we're gonna be great. Shout out to us. A game that this year I'm looking forward to the most. So this year, 2024.
Yeah.
I would say Suicide Squad. Even though a lot of people kind of like they feel indifferent about it, but I always love the Suicide Squad. I love that DC side where it's raunchy. They don't give a shit. They talk crap. And we get to kill the Justice League. How many times do you get to kill superheroes? Never. Never. Even though, like, you know, they're hosted by Brainiac and all that stuff. Man, Batman gonna be scary. I know. I'm a little nervous.
I mean, if you're Harley Quinn and you play as her, nothing to be nervous about at all whatsoever.
She's a badass. I love the movement in the game as well. The story is funny. It's the voice acting is cool, and the model of the characters is unreal.
Yeah, it looks really gorgeous though. I mean, like that's the thing about certain games of where I wouldn't expect it to look the way that it does. Same thing with Alan Wake 2. Currently on chapter 2, and I didn't expect that game to look as gorgeous as it does.
Mm-hmm. I would be upset because Rocksteady is doing this for Suicide Squad, and I love Rocksteady. Shout out to all the Batman Arkham games. Beautiful, love the games. Suicide Squad. Good. So they're if you haven't played the Arkham series, play the Arkham series. Everybody on the podcast watching right now, y'all know what I'm talking about. The Arkham series is goated. Shout out to Rocksteady, and I hope they don't fumble Suicide Squad because I'm excited.
Yeah, because I have a physical and digital version of the games. It's on my backlog.
That's one, like, put it at the top of your backlog. You'll start enjoying the game. You'll enjoy the detective stuff in the game, the free flow combat, the open world. You'll have a good time. It's a good time.
I'm excited because like Batman from DC, Batman is my favorite one, and then the Joker. But when it goes over to Marvel or any of like the other superheroes or villains or anything, Morbius and Blade.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I watched that Jared Leto Morbius, and I was like, I was like, we need a reboot fast.
That was the only good part about the movie, though, the fact that Jared Leto was in it.
Yes, yes. I was like, he is a great Morbius. He looks the part, but I was like, this writing is. I was like, we need to get it together.
Yeah, it was really interesting too because I have a Blu-ray copy of the movie. It was so bad I liked it, and that's when you know you have your
Oh
comfort
God.
movie.
So it's your comfort bad movie. That's nice.
Yeah,
It's a good bad
yeah.
movie. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good movie. I could sit down and watch and enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, like some of the acting is kind of cringe because you can tell he's kind of overacting in certain parts.
Mm.
But when it gets to like the bat transformation and everything, it's such a difference and a switch up between oh gosh, what was that one movie? Requiem for a Dream that he
Requiem
was
for a
in.
Dream. Yeah.
That was hard to watch.
Yeah, that was terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I
Yeah.
sometimes so comparable to his walk in Morbius. I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
comparing that to Requiem for the Dream. I'm like, what is happening?
What's it? Okay, so now I'm curious though. What is your movie that you think is a good movie that is your go-to to watch as a comfort movie?
Great Gatsby.
Great Gatsby.
Great Gatsby.
Nice.
That's my favorite movie. I can always watch it. I've watched it when it was in theaters. I watched it 9 times. It helped that I was working at a movie theater, so I can just walk in and just go watch a movie. But yeah, I watched it 9 times. I thought it was that great, and it's one of my favorite books.
Oh my god! See, that's amazing. I never got to see The Great Gatsby before, and I've always wanted to see it because all my friends were like, "You need to see the movie at some point in your life before you expire." I'm like, that's a hell of a way to say it. Okay.
It's a really great movie. It takes you for a ride. It's very long, so if you have 3 hours, it's 3 hours. So if you have that time to go sit down, or you could split it up into like half an hour, because there's different parts of the film that you can kind of like pause it and then pick it up another day, which is nice. But it's a wonderful film, wonderful acting. They got the error correct, like the CGI is nice in certain scenes, and I think it's a perfect movie. I really really enjoyed it.
That's really wonderful. So anybody who's seen The Great Gatsby in the comment section, let me know without spoilers, by the way. But my comfort film would have to be The Devil Wears Prada. I love it. I can't count how many times I've seen that movie. But for me, like, not too many people know this, but I'm a fashion person. I absolutely love fashion. It's one thing that I've grown up with so much is like every issue of Vogue would come to the house when I was a kid. You know, I even collect different issues of Vogue myself. So whenever I watch The Devil Wears Prada and I just see like Meryl Streep acting as Anna Wintour, I'm just like, this is cozy.
That's a great movie. I think The Devil Wears Prada is very underrated. A lot of people like say they love the movie, and then a lot of people would just say like, it's all right. And I'm like, nah, you need to go rewatch the movie.
What is the one way you found to keep balance in your life? Because as a content creator, you know, it's incredibly difficult to find that balance between work and life and hobbies and all that kind of stuff. How have you found that balance?
Yeah, so I have this calendar whiteboard that I put on my wall, and has my calendar for every week, and I make sure I update the calendar with my schedule for meal prep, my schedule for working out, schedule for emails, content, podcasts, um, anything that I can that I schedule for myself or that I lock in and I say yes to always goes on my whiteboard. So I will not know, or I'll never forget when I'm doing something or when I messed up.
It's actually kind of funny because I know why you're laughing. It's about yesterday. We're gonna be completely honest.
Yes, we're gonna be honest.
We were supposed to record this on a Saturday. This is coming on Monday, but we were supposed to record it on a Saturday. And I don't know because I know you talked about it on Twitter, but do you want to talk about the porch pirate?
Yes. So I had the luxury of just streaming about like 2 days ago, and just having a porch pirate come on my porch, steal all my Amazon packages. But it got even weirder. He sat on my lawn chair and did a YouTube unboxing of all the stuff, and then walked away with all my shit. So this guy thought he was comfortable enough to sit on my front porch, open my stuff. I shit you not. This is 2024. This guy has probably ice in his veins. He is the Joker. He sat down, opened everything, saw the boxes, said "ooh" at the end of the video, got himself a Christmas tree, left. So I've been in the midst of missing our time slot yesterday because I was creating makeshift boxes with the Amazon boxes I've had to catch this porch pirate.
Wow. I mean, I usually put like a note in one of them that's just like, got ya.
It literally gotcha with a steam. I'm not all right. So I would usually put like dog. I would put like dog crap in a bag. You know what I mean, or like in the box or whatever. When he opens, he does that, but he'll probably just throw it back at the house. So we're gonna do something different. All right, we're gonna get the boxes. We're gonna put some rocks inside. But before we put the rocks inside, we're gonna put the little items that I get stuff with. So let's say I bought sneakers. I'm gonna put the rocks in the sneakers, then the box of the sneakers inside the box, fluff around it. It's an actual item now. It's not gonna sound like rocks. It's gonna sound like an actual, something's in there. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna see if he sits down, opens up again. I'm gonna walk out the back with my phone and a bat, and if he tries to run, he's catching one to the knee, and we're calling the cops. And it's gonna be all on camera.
You see, this is why, by the way, you guys never mess around with New Yorkers. We know how to fix stuff, okay? So going back into the topic of gaming, because this is a lot of fun tangents, and this is what happens every time in a podcast. I get all these tangents going. It's so much fun. But what is one game that no matter what kind of bugs are in it, what kind of reputation it has, like people know that it's either like their version of what a bad game is, because there's no truly bad game. It's just all perception. What game would you pick out as one that you don't like, that the one that you like that people don't like?
007 GoldenEye. It's my favorite game of all time. 007 GoldenEye is my favorite game of all time. You have to like that era. You have to like the way the game looks, like the way the game plays. It's just one of the games that was so personal to me, that I used to play with my brothers, and it looks god awful, but I love it.
That's amazing.
It plays god awful, but I love it.
Yeah. No, I've seen people play the game, and it's just it's clunky, but it's so remnant of that time period. And I remember
it was a wonderful time period.
Oh gosh, yeah, it was. I mean, wasn't that back early 2000s?
Early 2000s. Well, no. Yeah, early 2000s. I was out here blowing on my cartridge for my Nintendo 64.
I actually was doing the same thing for the GameCube because, oddly enough, the first game, and it runs kind of clunky now, but it's still one of the best games, in my opinion, that what came from 2002 was Resident Evil 1 Remake.
Oh my god! So did you have a scratch on your disc for that? Like you would put in your GameCube and you would wait for it to go,
yes,
and then once it did, you're like, yes, it's working.
Yep, and then the GameCube logo would work, and it's just like, oh my god, it actually works. Like, and then you have like the cartridge to save, and we were actually the generation that saw autosave for the first time. I don't know if you realize that, but in Resident Evil 6 on the Wii, it said autosaving. I had never saw that before that.
So it would autosave only if you had a memory card. So here's a fun fact. I had a GameCube, right? And I would play this game called Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
Okay.
And it was wonderful. And at the end of the game, a lot of people don't know, once you beat the whole entire game, it unlocks like a Mario Kart style racing game that you can just play it all the time with your friends. So I didn't have a save cartridge, so I would leave my GameCube on for like a week and I would play it. And I would leave it on. My GameCube would be on. I would go to school. My GameCube would be on. I'd tell everybody, don't shut it off. Mom, don't shut it off. I will lose everything. I don't want to have a memory card. And she was like, okay. And I left it on all the time.
Oh my gosh. Like literally, like that was probably the first kind of way that we did that back in the day, because if you didn't have a memory card, you were in a sense screwed with everything. Like that's what happened with Resident Evil 0. Whenever I played that, it had, back in the day, this is when you had 2 discs. And
oh my God.
And it was so funny to me because I didn't have a memory card at the time. I didn't know where it was. I thought I'd lost it. So I played through literally the entire game in a few hours because I was like, I can't save it, so I might as well play the entire thing. And I love whenever the thing pops up. This is gonna like be a core memory unlocked for you, right? Please switch over to the second disc.
Yes. That was the funniest part, when the black screen would come and it would be like, switch over to second disc. And I was like, wow, I'm not gonna miss this. I'm not gonna miss this.
It's so funny because a lot of games actually come in 2 discs now. You have the upload disc and then you have the actual game disc now. That was true for Cyberpunk. I think that's going to be true for Rebirth as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I definitely think it is. It's unreal that like we still make discs now. I'm not gonna lie. Like in 2024, it's like because you want a physical, not even physical. I bought the Spider-Man collection, right? It came with a steel book, right? With a circle, but no disc. The disc was digital. Inside was digital.
That's what happened with Ragnarok as well.
They gave me the code. I was like, I don't get no fucking Spider-Man disc. What is happening? I wanted the disc.
I don't get it though, because it's like I'm a physical collector, right? Unless the game comes as a digital and that's the only version that there is, I'm a physical girly through and through. So whenever I go and I see that they're like Best Buy, there's no more physical copies that you can get really now at Best Buy. It breaks my heart because I want the physical copy. And so many people are like, oh, I'm losing my data. I'm losing this. Physical preservation. You won't lose your stuff then.
They literally have like they stopped selling so much physical stuff inside like Best Buy, etc., that they sell cards with codes, and I'm like, yeah, this is nice, but if I wanted, you don't have to make a lot of. I want video games to get to the point where the discs are so rare that they only sell like maybe like 2,000, 3,000 units.
That's what makes it meaningful.
That's the stuff. It's when it's gonna start getting like the sneaker game.
Next thing, we're gonna go over our hot takes for the day. What is your personal gaming hot take?
All right, my personal gaming hot take. Microtransactions aren't ruining games. You just want to buy everything you can't afford.
Thank you. Finally, someone said it. Yep. Yeah, you don't have to buy it. They're not necessary.
I tell everybody, I'm like, if they come and you can afford it, sure. If you cannot afford it, you need to understand as a person that what your bank account is, what you need to spend your money on, and if it's not worth it, it's not worth it. It's unfortunately the world we live in. We're not all nepo babies. All right, we don't make millions. Our parents all don't make millions, and if you're lucky enough that they do, you can get the collection.
Exactly. Like always living within your means. And a lot of people don't understand that because they see content creators who are like living La Vida Loca, and it's not the case a lot of the time, It's like, do what's in your means, do what you can afford, and if you can get it, great. If you can't, gaming is it's not a need, it's a want.
It's a want. And most of the stuff is free anyway. We're lucky it's free. You're lucky you're playing games for free.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a lot of people don't understand that. Like when I'll take the bait sometimes, and I'll argue with people on Twitter about this, of where you have the luxury to have free games on itch.io, on so many different websites. Even on Xbox and PlayStation, there are free demos that you guys can get. Yeah. But it's not a necessity to your life whenever you miss out on a game release or anything like that. You don't have to have it day one.
No, you usually can play it like 2 months later for $30. Just be patient.
And that's the thing too, of where like, this is my gaming hot take of the Fallout series. A lot of people who know me know that I started playing Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is racist.
Very.
Yeah. And people listen, I'm not gonna.
We're about to see it in the Amazon Prime episode if they're following it correctly.
I don't know if I'm necessarily looking forward to it, but I'm cautiously optimistic about how they're going to be doing this, because
I hope they do it well. I hope they acknowledge it, fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like acknowledge it, fix it.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, of where like I appreciate you understanding that, because whenever I told people this, I reviewed Fallout 3 back in 2019. I got death threats. I got people telling me that I wasn't playing the game correctly, and that it's not racist because it's in a video game.
That's that.
What? I feel like I have to go over it now.
That's the funniest shit I've ever heard of the new year, 2024. That's the funniest. It's not racist because it's in a video game.
Well, you see, now people are going to ask, well, why is Fallout 3 racist? I've explained it to people so many times, of where it's not just because of the ghouls. You have the Chinese failsafe program, and not too many people know this. I speak like a tiny bit of Mandarin because I know from my childhood. You're in New York. You're going to be in Chinatown. You're going to like my family friends. They're Chinese. They know Mandarin. So, and the way that they spoke it was in a mocking tone, and you know what, for the historicity of it, they're probably going to try to say like, oh, it was part of the history of back in the day. But you don't make that conscious effort to actually make fun of Chinese people in a video game, you know?
That's it. You didn't have to do that to make to go along with your story. You could have just got a regular person, true Mandarin, made it great. You didn't have to like make it like a snotty joke. It was like an undercover joke too. It was they thought they were gonna fly under the radar with it.
Well, that's the thing. The player didn't have to go that route. Like, you didn't have to put in a security code to actually like unveil the entire program. That was optional. And the fact that was optional means that they were just trying to slide that under the rug.
Of course.
The other thing is that when you, and I remember this vividly because I did a playthrough of Fallout 3 on my YouTube channel, of where when you go into the tunnel area, right when you're about to get to the radio station to see where your father is, there's a poster on the wall that says, "Where will you be when the Holocaust comes?"
Oh, God. I remember that poster. That poster. That poster. You know what's crazy? A lot of people haven't replayed through. If we did a replay through for Fallout 3 and they did a re-release and they remastered it completely, a lot of it would be on Twitter. A lot of it.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the thing of where people were like, oh, it's a nuclear holocaust. I'm like, where do you think originally that word comes from to even utilize it? Like the word Holocaust. And like, I tell people I'm Jewish and they're just like, oh, well, you're just saying that because, you know, of trauma that you went through. And I'm just like, no, it's actually because it's wrong to put in a game without context. Like, this was 2009. This is not an old game. You know, and the other thing that I found really disturbing was that when I played through it for the first time, you go into Megaton, you have the mayor, and he gets shot by a gangster who calls him a knuckle dragger, which is a derogatory term for a black person.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I was shocked. I stopped mid-game when I was recording and I just sat back like I was still recording. Like, you can see the look on my face in the video, and it was just of pure shock. And so many people in the comments were saying that I was overreacting. And it's just like, well, no, it's not overreacting. This is racism in a game, pure and simple.
I don't know why people tell you how you can react to certain situations, period. Like, everybody's different. Everybody's wired differently. And a lot of people can take situations the way that they want, and we can talk about them. We're adults. You shouldn't be able to like, no, you shouldn't feel that way, you know, or no, this is not what's going to happen. Or this is not what's happening, when clearly he just said it, you know, mayor's dead. What are we going to do?
And not only that, even people gave me shit for whenever I played Fallout New Vegas for the first time. I was going over our first impressions, and I went over one of the perks that you can get in the New Hearts DLC, or whichever name it was. You know, forgive me if I'm mistaken.
I don't know the DLC for Vegas. I skipped out on Vegas. I'm not going to lie. I played 3. I skipped out on Vegas.
Okay, Vegas was actually the only good one in the series.
It was the only good one? Nice.
It was the only good one. And it actually had a really good story. It went through things. I think the guy who played Chandler in Friends, he was one of the voices of one of the characters in the game. Cool. It was really awesome to see. But you had in the DLC this perk that you could get called Colonizer.
God.
Yeah. And even in the story itself of where, like, I have to look up the perk and picture itself, but on Reddit, I saw it and I was just like, no, this is like attributing everything to slavery. This is going after indigenous folks. And this is kind of saying, hey, slavery is cool, dude. And it's just like, no, it's not. Like, this is
you want a perk to be a colonizer? Play our game. You can be a colonizer with this perk. That's so weird. And
maybe I'm like mistaking the name. I actually want to get this right because I know Fallout fans are going to come for my throat if I don't get this right.
No, it's okay. Like, we're fact checking. Yeah,
exactly. Sneering imperialist, not colonizer. My apologies.
That's pretty much the same thing.
So the sneering imperialist, it states here that requires a level 8. 15 plus damage, hits to those raider junkies and tribal races.
Nice.
And it says here in quotes, you don't take kindly to raiders, junkies, or tribals trying to settle or stay alive in civilized lands against dirty raiders and junkie types, as well as Zion's tribals. You do 15 plus damage and have a bonus hit in VATS.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's
And
weird. We could have reworded that better.
people ripped me a new one on Twitter when I posted that for the review. In what world is this not racist right now? Like these are important discussions to have. And if you're going to tell me that, oh, it's just a game, get over it, then there's no world in which I can have a conversation with you about it.
Yeah. And there's no seeing eye to eye at that point. Like you don't understand what obviously people in the past have gone through to look at this now and be like, oh, this can affect them, or somebody could take this the wrong way. So I mean, some people just don't care. Some people feel like, I think it's a lot of if it's not happening to me, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like it never happened to me, it never happened to my family. I don't care because if it happened to anybody's family or anything like that, somebody would be totally different about the whole situation.
Yeah. So that's my really big hot take. And that's the thing too. Like I love the Fallout world for what it portrays in like post-apocalyptic scenarios, because
it's a fun story.
Yeah. I mean, like, gosh, the way in which Fallout 4 started, and besides the mechanics, because we're not even going to talk about the mechanics of this game. Oh my God. It's just crazy. But the way that the music is, the way that the ambiance is, those are all really great things. And Fallout 3, I think, was the first one to incorporate both first and third person within a game at the same time back in 2009. So it did a lot of things right. But unfortunately, the people who worked on it weren't that keen on trying to be inclusive, because unfortunately in 2009 even they weren't thinking inclusivity really well that far into a game.
No, I totally agree. Another game that I can compare like to that style would probably be BioShock, the BioShock series, like 1, 2, Infinite. It was such a wild. I think that's one of my favorite series. One of my favorite series of all time.
I've never played it before.
You have to play BioShock. It's so good. So good.
Nice. Yeah,
I'm giving you gems. I'm giving you gems that are worth the playthrough.
Batman Arkham, BioShock.
I'm giving you gems that are like that you're going to be involved now, and now you're going to be like, oh, these are in contenders for top games I've ever played.
But the next question I want to ask you now, this is more of like a foodie question, because I want to know, as a gamer, I know that we always get asked a lot, like, do you like eat while you play video games? For me personally, I don't, because I don't want to get my equipment dirty. But what is your go-to snack after you've had like a major gaming session or work or anything?
My go-to snack will probably be, fun fact, this is not my PC behind me, this is a mini fridge.
Oh, nice.
Keeps all my snacks. I have this Chobani.
What did we say before earlier?
Chobani cookie dough yogurts. They're so good, and I love them. And this is the snack I always have probably after every stream, and I just sit and enjoy it. The Chobani yogurt.
And you thought I was like, oh, is there a body?
Yeah, my body. It's all coming full circle.
It really is. When does that happen? That Aristotelian unity.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it just was meant to be. I think it was just meant to be. I thought that was a funny moment, and it's just all full circle from there.
I'm not a rager, so it's always interesting to hear people's stories whenever they're just like, I raged so much at this boss.
Okay. So I play a lot of shooters, right? So it's not necessarily a boss, it's characters. So I'm gonna go to Apex Legends and say I hate fighting Horizon characters that I clip and they just queue up and pop a bat on their queue. And then they jump back on their queue and pop a med kit because they're moving the whole time.
Ooh,
so
that's annoying.
So to describe it is, I'm shooting somebody, right? I hit him for 100, crack. I want to go kill them. They'll queue up into the air, start popping their bat. So they're just batting while basically like a waterfall air torpedoes just putting them in the sky. And then it'll push them off once they're at the top. They don't let them chill there. But then you can just come back into it, start popping a heal after that, and then go up again, and then go out. So I like have to shoot something out of the sky the whole entire time. It's the most annoying player, one of the most annoying players to play against in Apex.
Besides Widowmaker and Overwatch.
Yes, besides Widowmaker and Overwatch, and besides a pocket healed Pharah and with Mercy.
Yeah, or was it Reaper? After he got nerfed, whatever, he got the Soul Reaper taken away from him.
Oh yeah. That was a good
Yeah.
nerf, by the way. He was too OP.
That was.
He's
Well,
still OP.
He's still OP, but the soul ripping thing, like that actually went in line with his character. And the fact that they took it away, I was like,
I know.
why?
We're just taking away his darkness. He's got to enjoy it.
You're taking away my soul. You're taking away everything. PC, Xbox, or Nintendo. We're not about console wars.
Damn.
I'm just looking to see.
Damn. We're not about console wars, but you just gave me every single console and or PC that I have to pick against. I only can pick one?
This is okay. So in a world where you had to pick, like someone was saying, you would literally have to pick only one
PC
to play for the rest. Nice. That was fast too. That was a fast answer.
I'm sorry, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. I love all of your games, and I have all of your consoles here on the side of me.
If I'm going
but
to
it's
pick
PC.
one.
I like frames, man. I like frames. I need frames.
I would pick PC as well because honestly, like I was able to play Silent Hill 1 on DuckStation with emulation, and I can't do that.
And it was probably so smooth too.
It was, and I was able to use my PS4 controller on my PC and modulate the controller and everything. It was great. It was amazing. I mean, like, yes, I have like all the consoles and everything, but I absolutely like. For me, the order goes PC, PS5, Xbox, and Switch.
I agree.
And then the Wii.
I agree. And then the Wii U, what is it? The Steam Deck.
Oh my God. I've never gotten to play on a Steam Deck. I want to experience that. Like, so
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. That, the Logitech, G Cloud is pretty cool as well. It plays all your games off Steam directly. So all you have to do is have your computer on. Then you can go on the couch. So I can play Diablo 4 just on my couch. Well, not Diablo because it's not on Steam. Sorry.
Oh, it's on Steam.
It's on Battle.net. It's on Battle.net only.
I thought it was on Steam.
No, it's on Blizzard. So it's on Battle.net.
Wait a second. Then I'm tripping out right now because...
Is it on Steam?
Yeah, $69. It's in my library. I have it on Steam.
So it's on Steam, but you play it while your Battle.net loads up? Mm-hmm. Oh.
That's how I bought. I have Diablo 4 on PS5 and PC, so I have it on Steam.
I was gonna say I have to rebuy the game again to be able to play it on my G Cloud because I have it on. I got a copy. They sent me a copy on Battle.net, so I was like, all right, cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean it's $69, and that is oh God, my heart hurts just saying that price.
It hurts, right? What happened to $50 video games, man?
What happened to $30 when Resident Evil 1 came out? Honestly, though, it's one of those things too of where like people are gonna like be in the comment section. Oh my God, they're so cheap. No, we're not cheap. This is a really terrible economy.
It's bad. I'd rather pay my rent than buy $100 game.
Yeah. Well, that's because priorities, you know.
100%. I gotta go food shopping. You know, I don't. Yeah. I walk into Whole Foods or I walk into Trader Joe's, and I don't get out of there without spending $200 on 7 things.
Yeah, exactly. Well, back when they were doing this comparison for Kevin McAllister in Home Alone, it was $19 and some cents for groceries. That was it. And now it's over $200 to $300 for the same amount that you were getting then.
That's actually criminal. Like, that's criminal.
It's bad.
That should be a crime.
The last question that I have is tech related. And whenever I see like, you know, people's tech, I'm always just like, I wonder what is their favorite tech piece to use. So what is yours that you've been utilizing in like your gear and everything that you feel is your favorite?
Ooh, I'm going to go through a lot of things. I love my Rodecaster Duo for my audio, you know, let's fucking go, you know, my super light mouse. This is what I use to destroy my enemies and send them back wherever their basement is or wherever they're at, wherever their apartment is. And then also my Litra Beam LX or XL. No, LX. I think it's called LX. My Litra Beam XL. It's a wonderful light. It's horizontal. It's minimal, and the heat that it emits is basically non-existent.
Oh wow!
Yes.
It's amazing.
So my room don't get hot.
Yeah. You see, that's the thing about like keeping it like I love about the winter because it keeps just everything cool, you know?
Exact. I don't have to turn the heat on in my room. I can cut it off in this area. My PC will
Yeah.
heat it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. I have to say, for my favorite pieces of gear, I love the clickety clackety keyboard that I have. It's very nice. I utilize that. Like, it's probably one of the best keyboards I've ever used. Not sponsored by Logitech at all, but you know what? A girl can dream.
Wait, I didn't. Oh my
What?
god! Wait, I forgot to show you. I forgot to show you. Hold on. I didn't mean.
What?
I don't mean to interrupt, but I forgot to show you
You're good.
my board. My little baby.
Wait, I need to see.
My little baby.
Oh, that's smooth.
My little baby.
That looked
I
really-
built it myself.
That looks so. I love that. I love the color combos. Those are really nice.
Thank you. I really tried. I really tried with the color combo. I wanted to get something that I loved, and that was cute. It was cute and I like creamy, buttery keycaps that are like soft and like nice.
Nice. Yeah. You see, the thing is that I didn't know about keyboard customizations until whenever I had my Razer keyboard from a few years ago. So I was cleaning and everything like that. And I saw, oh, wait, you can actually take these off and like change them around and do all that kind of stuff. It was really cool. But I love this microphone. The Blue Yeti is my ride or die. I used other microphones before. This one is just absolutely incredible. I love it. And the one thing I absolutely love, I can't live without recording always, is the Flint D4T capture, D4, I can't pronounce it today. The Flint D4P capture card. And it is by far one of the best capture devices I've used. It can use multi-screen. It has a remote control that you can switch between different inputs and everything like that. It's
dope.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's really
dope.
amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. And I've had that for the past, I think, want to say 4 years now. It's worked like a charm ever since. And for the final question, I know that I said that was a final question, but I had one more thing that is just like a fun one. If you were to find out that you could no longer stream, no longer do what you do as a content creator, what would you do?
I would be a director and a cinematographer, and I would produce.
Nice.
I would produce and help people create cool shit. Besides that, I used to play semi-professional soccer until I tore my ACL, so I don't do that no more.
Jeez. Oh my gosh, ouch.
I still play, but I can't reach that speed that like would made me like an asset.
Wow. How long were you playing for?
I've been playing since I was 3.
Wow. Jeez. That's impressive. That's absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
I love it.
If I were to not be able to do content creation anymore, I would be a psychologist because I have my degree in psychology.
Nice. You would help people. Help people discover more about themselves, help people unlock doors, and help them love themselves. I like that.
Exactly. Either that or I would be like a vampire historian because I love vampires and I love their history.
I think vampires are super, super cool.
They're so underrated in the community. It's just like we have Blood Rain, we have the game Vampire, we have like certain things, but we don't really have like, besides Vampire the Masquerade and those, we don't really have like a solid story for a vampire game.
I mean, at least we're getting Blade for Xbox. We're getting Blade.
It
looked pretty cool.
Excited.
I think Arcane, is it Arcane? Arcane? Is that the studio? Arcane? ARKA, that they made Dishonored. I think they're making the game.
Oh, that's right. I had forgotten about the name of the studio, but yeah, I think so. And that when that trailer popped up and then I saw like the sideburns, I was like,
who is that? It was definitely Blade. He was on the. You know what's crazy? The barber was giving homie a cut with the blinds closed in the daytime. I was like, he was like, you ain't got to worry about that, big dog. And then he said, oh, we're good. I was like, yeah, it's Daywalker, son. Man.
It was so interesting to me. Like I saw that trailer and instantly, like it was during the Game Awards as well. So like whenever I was sitting down, I had my charcuterie board in front of me. I was relaxing. My dad was watching it with me, and I was like, "Wait, is that Blade?" I stood up and I was like, "No, that's Blade."
That was such a cool moment, and I hope it's rated R, man. Gotta be rated R. It's gotta be rated R.
For Blade especially, I mean, my gosh, that's some of my favorite movies is the Blade franchise. I need them to do it justice.
They need Wesley Snipes to come through and do a cameo. Got to.
Gosh.
He's got to do a voiceover for something.
He does. And he needs to take care of Edward Cullen. There could be like a co-op mode where you're fighting like little versions of Edward Cullen. No. But thank you so much for being on this podcast. Is there anything that you want to tell your community or anything that you last want to mention or say before we get off for tonight?
I just want to say I enjoyed my time. Thank you so much for having me. To my community and your community, I hope you guys are having a great 2024. I hope everything that you want to happen in your life happens this year and you get up and go get whatever you want and what you deserve.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you guys like our faces and what we do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that like button down below if you guys like the content and want to see more of it. May you guys find your worth in the waking world, dear hunter. Stay casually nerdy, and I will see you all in the next video. Umbasa.
Goodbye.